Alright, hello everyone. Haven't played Spiral Knights, or at least haven't recorded it, in a long time. But we're finally gonna get around to doing a solo Darkfire Vanna run, and finishing it. The last time I tried to record one of these, well, recorded one and tried to upload it, that is, was about a year ago. And the footage ended up corrupting. So, yeah, I said I was eventually going to do another one, never ended up getting around to it because of classes and all, and now I'm finally able to do this. So, our loadout, we're going to go with something a bit risky. I don't usually run Black Cat in Vanna or DFV. Usually I go for Chaos, it gives you the Blitz charge time, which I don't have on this one. And my Chaos Cirrus set has positive fire resistance, and way less negative curse resist. This Black Cat has a ton of negative fire and so much negative curse that you curse for like 70 seconds or something. It's pretty ridiculous. So, the object of this run is to not get hit. Of course, this set comes with the advantage of having move speed. Go movement speed low on each of these pieces, and I'm also using movement speed as the sprite perk. I could use charge time, but... well, actually, is there an argument to be made for that? I'm just not sure how much I'll be using my Blitz, considering there's a lot of dreadnoughts and normal attacks tend to work well. I think the charge time would only really come in handy on Vanna itself, so I'm gonna stick with the movement speed and we'll see where it gets us. I should swap off this harness for piercing. Let's see, everything else is in order. So yeah, I'm using Skelly Shield, Crest of Almar is better, I just like the Skelly Shield. Okay. Attack speed, trinkets, gets us maximum on the Mixmaster and the Soaker. Pretty important. 2 Mixmasters, one is attack speed medium and construct low, the other is attack speed medium and undead low. Those damage UVs don't matter much, but they allow me to switch between the two, which lets me skip reloads a lot faster than I would with just one Mixmaster. You end up getting something like 6% more damage per second, just by having 2 of the same weapon, as opposed to swapping with 1. Spiral Soaker, it's just a Blitz Needle reskin, so of course we're bringing it, and an Umbra Driver. Bringing this for slimes, because they can be a pain sometimes, but more importantly we're bringing it for wheels. The Mixmasters don't handle wheels well head-on, so Umbra Driver helps out for that. I think other than that, everything is good. So without further ado, let's start this run-up. And wow, the Snarvelax sprite looks really weird with the piercing harness. That thing was definitely meant to have the dark harness on it. So, for those who don't know, Shadow Lairs are basically more difficult. Normal runs with a bit of a twist. The arenas tend to be inverted, I suppose you could say. So if traps would be on the outside of the arena in a normal run, they'd be on the inside of the arena in the Shadow Lair. Of course, things are just harder in general. Like, you can already see there's a bunch of traps, a bunch of wheel launchers that weren't in normal Vanna, and the enemies are actually different. In this case, there's slags that cause curse, known as Carbonons. Or Carnivons? It's just a sec. Yeah, Carnivons. They're quite annoying. They have shields. Makes them a pain to deal with. Especially with the Mixmaster, it can hit the back of their shield from the front because of the way the bullets curve. But it's a risk that I have to take because the Mixmaster just has so much DPS, I can't afford to not use it if I want this run to be as efficient as possible. Just gonna go ahead and stealth past that turret because we can deal with it after these wheels are gone. Makes everything a lot easier. Everything collapses pretty quickly, so I did go through the arcade before, which is why I have these pills and Remedy. But hopefully we can get a better Vitapod. Shadow Lairs always have Vitapod 21s, if you get the Vitapod drop. But there's no guarantee on when you'll get the Vitapod. It could be like as late as the 3rd floor I've seen. Hopefully that's not the case in this run and we get it early on. Gonna go ahead and bring the resurrection totems down. This arena doesn't usually have Trojans, but in DFV it does because, well, if they could add in Trojans, if they could add in Dreadnoughts, they're going to. We just want to clear these guys out as fast as possible. And there is the Curse Breath. You don't want to be hit by that, because it puts you out of commission for way too long. And with the Black Cat, that means that all 4 of my weapons would be cursed, plus I wouldn't be able to use any items. It's just not a good place to be. If you try to use a remedy capsule when the remedy's cursed, you end up taking damage from it. I think that slag just got killed by a wheel. I must have lowered it too much. We'll just bring them outside of the resurrection totems. Uh-oh, I hope that doesn't kill it. Good. Now, I know a lot of my viewers are actually from Gaia Online. In fact, I think the majority are right now. If you're watching and have no idea what Spiral Knights is, the best way I can describe it is it's like a Bastion-like MMO. Yeah, I can't think of any other game that it plays like. Bastion was a fantastically well-controlled and well-narrated top-down... what would you call it? I guess it's an adventure. Almost an RPG? No, it's not really an RPG. Yeah, it's just an adventure game. One of my favorite games, though. So I'm so glad that Spiral Knights exists, because similar playstyle, but it's an MMO. Great. Didn't even notice that Resurrection Totem had that much range. They patch these wheels so you can't break them, and it's very annoying. Also, Oilers are still glitched, so they will follow you when you're in stealth. And here's where the Umbra Driver comes in handy, because the Mixmaster would not be able to break that without, like, a lot of trial and error. The shots have a bit of RNG on the way that they arc, so most of the time they're not going to be able to break a wheel launcher. From that kind of angle, at least. I could use the Blitz for that as well, but I find the Embers just easier because it lets you deal with Oilers and everything as well. So far, have I been hit yet? I'm not sure. If I get lit on fire with this Black Cat set though, I believe I take 18 bars of damage if I don't put it out. So that's a pretty huge risk. If I get hit by fire, we'll definitely be able to tell. Don't even need to switch to Umbras for those kind of slimes because they fall pretty easily to the Mixmaster. But Oilers gain elemental defense when they're put on fire, so I need it for those. Just want to kill that Dreadnought as fast as possible. I guess I might as well stealth when it's up. No, I won't need to. There we go. It's okay to leave that slag head there, it'll eventually fade out. So the key to DFV is basically just positioning well. You don't want to focus on DPSing enemies down as fast as possible, you just want to focus on not getting hit. And if you're kiting properly, the enemies will die on their own. Get that Dreadnought down, and there's a Vitapod. Nice. We'll get in what hits we can when it's safe. That was pretty bad aim there. There's one Trojan down. I'm gonna reposition this turret. I don't like it facing up, so let's move it down here and then stealth. There we go. Arena's done, turrets no longer respawn, and everything is awesome. So yeah, I don't think I got hit once that floor, which is fantastic. If I did, well, whoops. We've got full pills, full remedies, and a Vitapod. Everything is looking great. And with any luck, we'll get some awesome drops from these boxes, even if we don't need them. One of the main attractions to DFV is that you get a bunch of Radiant Crystals, but I think I actually have like 3,000 Radiance right now. I don't need more, but they're nice to have. And there they are. 6 radiance from floor 1. Not too many, but I can't complain. As far as the usable items that aren't pills and remedies go, I like to take one set of barriers and one set of vials. The vials are pretty useful against Trojans or Vanaduke himself, and the barriers are really useful against Trojans and Dreadnoughts because you can even use them when you're in Masquerade stealth to get some extra damage in if an enemy's almost dead. And they will hit Trojans and Dreadnoughts through their shields. Quite handy. The only type of barrier that I don't like is freeze barriers, because if an enemy gets frozen you can't shield bash them away and, well, suddenly you might get stuck in a corner. For some weird reason my cursor flashes when I'm recording. I don't know if that shows up on your end, but on mine it's actually kind of distracting. Oh, the fire bent in a solid way for us. I actually should have been hit there. That fire was going to go right for me and then it turned left for some reason. And I don't think I was going to react to that, so I'm just glad it worked out the way it did. I'll probably do every room except for the wheel one. I don't like the wheel one in Darkfire Vanna. I don't like it much in normal Vanna either, but in Darkfire it's just annoying. Okay. Dreadnought's going down so we can kill some slags. If I can get at least 2 down, then that is great. 3 is even better. Kill the Dreadnought by getting the slag down so that it tries to resurrect it. Keeps it in place for a while. I do like having this ASI max on the Blitz Needle. Normal attacks from Blitz are really underrated. Alright, since there are totems in all the corners, I'm going to want to bring him down to a single corner. Maybe I'll kill this slag while I'm here. Don't want to get hit by that Dreadnought, though. I think the top left corner is actually enough room once I kill the Dreadnought off. Maybe I should kill a slag? No, it's good. Don't even need to distract it. Gonna try to kill some slags before the Trojan. Just make sure that I won't get hit from it. Perfect. This run's going really well so far. I don't know why, but Darkfire Vanna is always really relaxing. Shadow Lairs in general are just relaxing and fun. I know I'm not making any money by doing the run, but it's worth the key price. Oh wow, that didn't kill the slag even with the attack buff. It's still not dead? Oh my goodness. And these slags definitely have more health than the standard slags. Usually I can kill them in 2 rotations of the gun, so you shoot twice. Shield, switch, shoot twice again. And that would kill a slag in normal Vanna solo. In Darkfire I don't think that can actually kill a slag, it probably takes 1 extra double tap. Now this room, you could argue that it's actually easier than the same room in normal Vanna. The way it spaces the waves are very strange. I think I've said this in a past video as well. but it only spawns a few mobs at a time and in set zones, so it becomes very easy to manage them. Not that the room in normal Van is difficult or anything, but this is just easy. Going to wait for those blobs to disappear, I don't like those. And there we go. Ooh, nice, a movement speed buff. I love these movement speed buffs when I'm using movement speed very high. You just go flying all over the place and it's so much fun. Rocket room, 3 rocket turrets spawn, but they don't respawn. So, could be argued that this room is easier as well if you have the tools to deal with the rockets. If you don't, maybe not so much. They give you fire pots on the side of the room, but I doubt that'd be enough to clear the rockets quickly. This cursor blinking is distracting me so much, because if you make a quick movement, usually the cursor's solid so you can tell exactly where you're aiming. But with the blinking cursor, there's a frame or two where it just disappears. It's a bit disorienting. Okay. One more rune will have done enough, but I'm actually going to do the other one as well. I think all these rooms are really well designed, except for the wheel one because it's just annoying. It's not fun to do, you don't get good rewards. This room in particular, though, stands out to me as maybe the best designed room in the game. The normal Vanna room just involves one long rod of these fireball things. I'm not really sure what you'd call it. It's basically a fire rod. In the Darkfire version, it's 2 rods, but they only cover half of the arena, and that's what makes it so much fun, is because you can either dash through them or just position around it. So you have to change your position every half cycle. In normal Vanna, you just move along with the rod, and that's just boring. I'm probably not explaining that very well, but I guess you get the idea just by watching. Whoops, I didn't swap that properly at all. Doesn't seem to matter, but... Okay, one more room. Getting some weird lag. Okay. You know what, I gotta drop the quality. It was already pretty low, but when I record, everything moves super slowly. It is still lagging even with that. I don't know. I guess it's just unavoidable when recording. Hello, Dreadnought, how are you? You appear to be dead at the moment. Please leave your message after the tone. I'm surprised none of the slags tried to follow here. Sometimes a slag or two will walk in here if you break that block. And wow, the lag spike. At this point, it's just trying to predict where all the enemies will be, which fortunately is very easy with these AIs. The Dreadnoughts are more difficult to predict sometimes. Invis buff lets me speed up the killing a little bit, and I doubt I'm going to need my sprite otherwise for a while. It actually gives me a little bit more damage than using the needle ability would have. The quills, rather. Though that's mostly just because my weapons have such high DPS when I'm using them with, well, damage and ASI max. Plus dual swapping it. Yeah, not much is going to live through that. Have not had to use a single item yet. I don't think I've even been hit once. So that's nice. There's still one more arena on this floor. Once you drop in all 6 sprites, the arena triggers. Notice there's little gates around the side. You'd assume those would close, but they actually don't, because if someone was outside in a Morden solo run, well, they wouldn't be able to get in. So I guess Three Rings realized that, never removed the gate covers here, but didn't make the gates go up. There has to be a way to stop this mouse cursor from blinking. It is so annoying. Okay, this is the last sprite. Once I put it in there, there's going to be 2 turrets, 2 dreadnoughts, a Trojan, 2 Wolvers, and some slags. And there they are, all lined up nicely. Killing the turrets is the first priority here. Once I'm done that, everything else becomes a bit easier. Slags are second if they can get out of the dreadnought range. If they can't, then I'm gonna lag spike like that. Not actually related to slags, but you know. I think I can kill this one. No, I can't. Actually, I should, so that the dreadnought tries to revive it, if it's in the range. Yep. There we go. Both dreadnoughts down, now we can kill the slags easily. After that, the Trojan, and then the Wolvers. Actually, I can kill this Wolver if it gets too out of position. Yep. Alright, Trojan. There we go. Let the Wolver try to attack me. Oh, that was not its attack. Not sure why it's just standing there, but... Okay then. That was the weirdest and easiest Wolver I've ever had to fight. Ooh, nice. A bunch of Radiants and a Spark. The Sparks are... It's hard to say if they matter or not. Like, it's nice to have them. At the same time, I think I have 350 or 400 bound Sparks right now. I guess we'll find out if I ever die. And so the main thing I use them for is reviving teammates. I'm not sure... I guess a Spark that I find is equivalent to a teammate finding a Spark. So it is a good thing. And the Radiants, they'll be useful if more weapons or armor sets that are useful come out. I also do have to make and upgrade another Rift Locker, another Hail Driver, and another Blitz Needle. So that'll set me down about 1500 Radiants. One of the things about Spiral Knights is that even though it's an MMORPG, I always find that I do better solo than in a team. But at the same time, the game can be more enjoyable in a team, even if I don't do as well. Let's see, statue's top right? Okay. It's always the last place you look. Mouse sensitivity feels really low, I don't know why. I guess I might just have to do it with the latency here. Lag, rather. Gonna wait for these spikes to almost be going down, and then I can grab the totem and put it in the top right without any issues. I want to get to the top left so that the slags don't move into the totem. Bottom left is also good, as long as it's on the left. Once I've killed out enough, then I can go closer. And again, the main focus is not killing these as fast as possible. It is just avoiding hits. Enemies will die on their own as long as I'm kiting properly and swapping properly. However, if I miss a swap, it leaves me vulnerable. So it's a very important mechanic to get right. Those slags are now dead. Interestingly enough, the slags don't spawn the next wave, I guess. Killing the Trojan does. In a lot of arenas, killing the Trojan does not trigger the next wave, only the slags do. Wasn't able to capitalize on that slag from the Dreadnoughts. Maybe I will on this one? No, I don't think so. As long as I can get a hit in on the Dreadnought, that's good. I can finish this one with a barrier and then use the time for the next one. There we go. Should only require one more mixing cycle on this Dreadnought. And there it is. That leaves me with a lot less resurrection, so we can clear out the slags on the left. I want to make sure that the Trojan doesn't attack in this time. And there we go. Slow the Trojan down here. And there we are. Still have not been hit. I think this is the farthest in a DFV solo that I've ever recorded, at least, where I haven't been hit. I'm pretty sure my record for not recording would be the arena after this one? It's on this floor at very least. I think it is the arena after this one. So, either side has slags. I don't believe the right side has a flame turret, only the left. I almost got hit there by moving too close, but we're all good. Middle statue triggers more slags to spawn and triggers turrets in the middle. The outer statue does not, so you grab it first. Now we're gonna go near this, press attack to spawn the enemies. Once those are cleared off, we can bring the statue down. Now since I didn't do the water perfectly, slags might walk into that fire spot, but it shouldn't matter too much. They're just not targetable for a brief duration in there. Again, outer turret, or statue rather, does not trigger enemy spawns. Inner one does. So we grab the outer one first. Go back around. You don't actually need to put out these fires. I don't know why some people do, you can just break the boxes. And everything is dead. Hooray. Now, in Darkfire Vanna, you have to do both sides. Usually in normal Vanna on floor 26, you'd only do one side, left or right. Darkfire is not so simple. You can already see the map is sprawling. But at least you get your money's worth. This is a bad rotation. Fortunately, with movement speed very high, I can actually make that without taking damage. If I was using Chaos, I'd usually have to stop here, shield the fire rod, whatever you call it, and then move over here. Black Cat makes everything more convenient, at the expense of even worse defense. Bunch of boxes, none of these can ever have anything. Party panel down there can't be stepped on, so we're good to move on. Yeah, this is as far as I'd ever made it without getting hit in a solo run. Or in any run, actually. So, if I can beat this arena, it's a solid personal record. Gonna stealth, just because I don't want to risk these flame turrets at this point. I know I could drop aggro by dashing as well, but it'd be hard to get in a position where it wouldn't re-aggro immediately. I'm also making sure to not stay too close to the left, else the flame turret could hit me. Oh my goodness, the lag spike. Alright, so let's face it up a bit. Here. Oh, I dashed at the wrong time. It's not going to lose aggro from that. Good stuff. Oh no! Darn it. Okay, well I guess I ended up tying with my old record. This arena remains the farthest I've gone without getting hit. Ah well. It's still quite good. When you go towards that keypad, dreadnoughts spawn, so be sure to clear the mobs out before you go there. Let's see. Spawn the dreadnoughts, we want to make them go to this corner. Oh crap, I got hit by that Trojan. I thought it was gonna go towards the top left more. Well, that's 2 hits in the same arena. Definitely not breaking any records there. I do wonder if anyone's ever done this run without getting hit. To be honest, I'd be quite surprised if anyone had. Switch in the middle turns off fires for about 30 seconds. Never actually timed it, but that's what my mental block says. My mouse feels really low sensitivity again. I guess I must be lagging. Want to be sure to not catch on fire from these turrets, because it would do 18 bars of damage to me if I don't remedy. With traps disabled, I can safely walk up to the turrets and kill them. I'm also going to break these blocks. It opens up more room. And there we go. Top switch. Trojans spawn towards the top, so we hit the top switch before that. Basically the last switch is the one that spawns Trojans. If that's the top one, you might get stuck in that area where the switch is. So it's very important to not leave that one for last. With all the slags down, you can safely clear the Trojans. That slag is not actually down. I'm a liar. Ah, crap. Quite a few radiants there. So, turrets on the left and right constantly respawn, but they only aggro if you move left-right. So if you stay in the middle, which is marked by this strip, they won't aggro. If you move slightly to the right or left, like here, they'll aggro you. And it's a pain to deal with that, so better to just never get them on your case at all. Resurrection totems start at the top, there end up being 2 more that spawn at the bottom, but they're not a big deal. If you don't have a Mixmaster or a driver on you, you could just use a Blitz Needle charge. And these slags would be no problem as well. This is definitely the easiest arena in the run, if you do it right. If you do aggro the turrets though, it becomes a bit harder. Here's the first totem. We just bring it down. The lag spikes are relentless though. Sometimes slags will stick around at the top right there. If that happens, you can just move up there and knock them down. I'll start to come down here. But we've gotten pretty lucky with the spawns so far. None of them have moved out of place. I think it only happens when two slags spawn right next to each other. And only in that top right corner for some reason. So this is the last wave. For some reason the second totem only spawns on the last wave. Don't know why they wouldn't spawn it there earlier. But makes it easier. Well, marginally easier. Considering it's not a very challenging arena to begin with. I always get so thirsty doing this run. I guess it's quite a long run, but... Jeez. I have 2 giant bottles of water near me, and I'm almost out. It's like a solid 1.5 liters of water that I've gone through in the course of this less than an hour. I'd assume it's been less than an hour at least. I hope so. Alright, I forgot that turret spawned there. Not too big of a problem, apparently. Okay, then. Two slags spawn here. Kill them. 2 slags and a turret will spawn in the next one. We kill the turret, then move up, take the resurrection totem down, and then kill the slags. Like so. Now there are 3 weapon types that can hit these 2 turrets before you break the blocks. The first one is the Mixmaster. Its charge attack pierces through half a block of wall. So if you aim it right and get the right RNG, you will hit the turrets through the wall. Not quite getting the right RNG here. Yeah. It's a bit finicky. The second type is the Pulsar. It's definitely the easiest type to do this with. I guess the Mixmaster, you could just do this as well. The Pulsars are a lot easier. You can actually just aim from about here, and you'll hit them. Third type's an Alchemer. If you've got an Alchemer, you charge attack. You can hit the turret. It's not necessary, but it makes it, like, slightly easier. There we go. It's just 2 less enemies to worry about. 2 fewer, rather. When you step on the side, which would normally trigger 2 slags to spawn in Vana runs, it'll instead trigger some slags, a turret, and a Trojan, like this. But it only does that the first time. The other 3 places that would ordinarily spawn slags in Vana, because these 2 aren't available, don't actually spawn anything when you walk there. It's another case of the run could actually be considered easier than Vana in this particular arena. Oops, messed up the swap there. This is actually one of the more challenging arenas. This might be the second hardest arena. I used to think it was the arena at the end of the first floor, but as I improved, I found the end of the first floor to be quite easy. In comparison, at least. So I do think this is the second hardest arena. main reason is just this one fire trap makes positioning tough. I guess you could also make an argument for the arena at the start of floor 26 being the second hardest. It's hard to say. So that makes the arena at the end of the first floor the fourth hardest. That slag I think is in the Dreadnought's range. Apparently it wasn't. Darn. I was gonna use it as bait, but it's no longer necessary. Take a totem down, and I am lagging like a madman. Okay then. I'm not so sure what I could have done to avoid the hit there, just because no amount of prediction was going to let me through there. That, on the other hand, I could have easily avoided just by shielding. And that. But it's okay, because there's health boxes up there, there's some hearts as well, and the rest of this arena isn't too menacing. Oh my gosh, that Trojan hit me though. So yeah, I have to instantly remedy the fire, otherwise it will kill me. Because Black Cat. Messed up the swap again and it almost got me hit. There we go, that took forever. Alright. Let's just stealth. Easier than dashing to drop the aggro when there's two separate turrets looking in two ways. I don't want this recon flare, because I feel like the barriers are actually going to be more useful. The only thing that I need now is one more remedy capsule. Alright, that won't work, I have to break the wheels first. So in normal Vanna, the water here, let's see, this would have 5 blocks of fire, or 4 blocks rather, and the bottom left corner be open, so you could just walk up and grab the water. In Darkfire they thought of that, so they block it off. It's kind of annoying. It's entirely pointless, but it's annoying. Just makes you go up for one more water. Let's see. Statue is here, that's good. Now, in this arena up here, I could break the blue block by using a Mixmaster charge. However, I'm not going to do that right now. Because we make it just in time for the spike cycle. Saves a little bit of time by not doing an exploit for once. No, Dreadnought, come back. There we go. Turrets on the left and right side are quite annoying. You can reposition them and then lose aggro, but they have a weird aggro range where it's a little circle around them, as well as their line of sight. Makes it so that even if you drop aggro to the top left and top right, they can still regain it on you, which I guess is well thought out. However, the easier solution is to just never get aggro until it's necessary. Killing slags before the Trojan, I must have accidentally hit that turret. So I will have to drop aggro. Let's see, let's drop it top left. Wait for this, hit the Trojan. Done. Good, so we got the Dreadnoughts going to the bottom, which means that I can kill some slags. Now the Dreadnoughts will have to revive it, which lets me kill one off. Basically free of charge. I can kill the slag off before the Dreadnought gets to it. This turret draws aggro on me. Trojan's gonna try to attack. Get the turret to aggro up here, then we have the entire bottom free. Gonna use a barrier on this, so I'll be able to kill it after. Just enough damage. Barriers are quite helpful. Nice, we got the remedy capsule back. Ah crap, I still got hit by that. Thought I positioned right for it, but apparently not. Now that it's dead, these turrets no longer respawn. There's no real point to killing them, I just don't like them. So we're killing them anyways. Boom. Just like normal Vanna, there are the hidden blocks over here. Provided you hit the button earlier on the floor. Get some free stuff. Wow, that is some weird Blitz Needle. They should have hit all three on each side, but apparently got the bad RNG. And now we are at the boss. I think this is quite a fast run. Probably largely because of the movement speed very high bonus from Black Cat and Sprite perk. However, you'll see the expense that it comes with, other than the terrible resistances to Curse and Fire, is that my Blitz Needle has pretty much no charge time reduction. My Blitz Needle is level 10, so it has CTR Med, but beyond that I've got nothing else. So I'll actually be using a lot of normal Blitz attacks on this Vanna boss fight. Now the key to Darkfire Vanna solo is to actually drop aggro a lot so you can put out fires, or to put them out on the mask phase. If there's too many fires around, you're going to lose. Swarm Seed does not matter much. It's fine to just leave it. It's important to kill slags before Vanna though. You don't want to be dealing with those throughout the mask phase. And fires do drop from all phases. So I'm gonna drop Vanna's aggro here. Kill that slag, and now I can re-aggro him. Dropping aggro again, same thing here. And it makes up for that terrible charge time reduction. It's important to put out fires. Dropping aggro again, I can put out these fires. As long as he doesn't regain it. Good stuff. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Fire spawned right there? That's bad. Hopefully it respawns in time. I don't think it actually will. But I'd rather save the remedy. So I'm going to put out all these fires before killing the mask phase. And that was a terrible shot on my part. Okay. Yeah, I'm messing up pretty badly. Let's see. Wow, that was bad timing as well. I swear, I'm not usually this bad at watering. I don't know what's going on today. Nope. Apparently this might take a while. I must have some sort of mental block for watering, for whatever reason. I do have a flash charge ready. I don't think I need to use it anymore. Wow, I am not used to this charge time at all. I thought that was on the dot, but nope. Okay, so phase 2 of Darkfire Vanna is the same as phase 1 of, or phase 3 of normal Vanna rather. Trojans will spawn on either side, Dreadnoughts actually. And And we want to be ready to kill the left one immediately. After that we can drop Vana's aggro. Use the time to kill the other Dreadnought. Not quite enough damage. It's a start though. Dropping Vana's aggro again just so we can kill these things. And put out a fire if possible. There we go. That was a poor use of a dash. I should have saved it to drop aggro after that dash of his. Cost me a little bit of health. Drop aggro. Don't need to take out the fires just yet. I'm just gonna blitz charge him. Oh my goodness, I didn't realize he dashed from that. Apparently I should have put out the fires after all then. Drop aggro. Hope fire doesn't fall on my face. Vana's at the bottom, so let's just stay away from him. Okay, Vana. It's go time. Alright, drop aggro. Oh crap, that didn't drop because he was dashing. Dashes again, we've got water. At least we can one-shot the mask phase this time. I've put out enough fires that I don't need to worry about it now. There we go. A flash charge on that mask in a solo run is just a death sentence if you've got damage max. It even one-shots it in 3-player parties if I remember correctly. Oh, he skipped a spawn phase. He was supposed to respawn Trojans. Oh no, there it is. Just moved for some reason. The reason it respawns is because the slags get respawned by the Dreadnoughts. So the second wave effectively adds on one more slag if you possession the Dreadnoughts improperly. If you do everything perfectly, the slags will not respawn though. Drop aggro. It's got a weird walking pattern, so he's just gonna re-aggro immediately then. Drop it again. Okay, this time I want to get a flash charge off. But I can't. He's turning around too fast. It's fine. Put out fire so we do have a gap to escape. I hope that dash doesn't hit me. It still does, darn. Drop it. Alright. Just need Vana to get near me. Then I can flash charge him. And that is the fight. Flash charges skip death animations, which is why he just kind of died. Quite a few crowns. Interesting. Usually there'd be a lot more radiance than this in the run. I guess it's a good thing to get crowns, because I don't really need radiance. But that is a surprisingly low number. 6 radiance from that end. I do need to heal here. Grey bars don't get healed from emergency revive, so it's important to be at full health for the unknown passage. Let's see. Now when you're in the unknown passage, you can swap loadouts at any time. What I'm gonna do is swap to one that has a Rift Locker on it. There we go. The Rift Locker is just nice for Wolvers. It's a lot faster than the Blitz. If you get locked into a Blitz attack, sometimes a slime will hit you from across the map. They're the only enemies here with ranged attacks, but they're very unpredictable. A slime will spawn here, so I'm going to start a Mixmaster stream, so when it spawns, it gets taken out. Just like that. I'm also going to go ahead and hard attack. It might not actually be necessary, but just in case, it never hurts to have some hearts. Seems like none of them dropped it anyways. This Wolver's low enough that I can just blow it up. Whenever a slime attacks, assume that the needles are going to go in your direction. So, when you think it'd hit you, you shield. Or you time your swaps so that your swap would end up shielding you. Otherwise you might take damage from slimes across the map and nobody likes that. Already killed 15 enemies, wow. It's very fast. Might as well be a jerk to these gremlins while we wait for the explosives to go off. Oh wow, I thought I was behind that block from that. That's a shame. Doesn't end up mattering in the long run. I doubt I'll die here. But if I do, I'll probably eat those words. Oh, I might as well. Who might have said no to some hearts? Heart attack just because we can. Interesting, I thought that slime's needle would have hit me. Or, which is why I shielded at least. However, apparently it didn't, even though it looked like it should have. Ah, right, the reason I was going to make a second Rift Walker is because this one doesn't have attack speed UVs on it. So it has a very long delay. It only has attack speed very high because of my trinkets. So I bought a blaster with attack speed medium. Ah crap, I didn't shield in time for that slime. Yeah, I bought a blaster with attack speed medium. I'm gonna make it into a Rift Walker. It's a lot cheaper than actually rolling UVs just for attack speed medium, because I don't need anything higher than that. Whoops, I thought that was a Rift Walker that I was on. And there we go. 25 enemies down in that arena, and we're done. It's the Shadow Lair. So, it was a reasonably good run. I messed up a lot on the boss, but didn't end up having to revive. And otherwise, I don't think I made too many mistakes, maybe 3 other mistakes. It's very close to perfect as far as hits go. So I'm pretty happy with that. Get a Maiden's Tier. I've already got like, well, I don't even know how many. I've got too many. That's how many I have. They'll end up getting donated to the guild, which doesn't need Maiden's Tiers because I've already thrown a bunch of Maiden's Tiers at the guild, but whatever, they're getting them anyways. Most entertaining part of the run. Seeing your crown total at the end. Actually, that's not the most entertaining part, but it's nice to know. Let's switch back to a normal run, or a normal loadout, so that I don't accidentally use a Rift Walker in Vanna instead of a Blitz Needle. And we should be good, yeah. So I think that was a reasonably fast run. 20k crowns, Eternal Orb, 45 Radiance, which is significantly below average, but that's what I thought. Otherwise, nothing special. I hope you enjoyed watching it though. If you've got any questions for me, just let me know in the comments, and I'll reply to you as soon as possible. You can also mail me in-game, either way works. So again, thank you for watching, and have a good one everyone.